Hi, and welcome to this week's The Mortgage Broker broadcast. This week's episode follows on from last week's introduction to the mini series that I'm now doing. And this week follows on from that. The mini series is all about AI. And this week is 10 ChatGPT prompts that will save you time this week as a mortgage broker. And as I've said before, do not worry, it's not about tech, it's about making your life easier and how AI can help do some of the things that you do not want to do or hate to do as a mortgage broker and business owner. So, I'm your host, Craig Skelton. I'm a mortgage business owner, mentor, and coach, and I'm here to help self employed brokers and business owners build the business that they want. This is the podcast that's made for mortgage brokers out there at every single level, whether you're just starting out with the CMAP in your hand, or you're running your own mortgage broker firm, or you're focused on scaling and growing your existing business. This podcast is all about helping you grow your business, sharpen your mindset, and navigate the day to day challenges of being self employed. Before we get into the podcast, this week's episode, if you enjoy the podcast, please subscribe, please leave a review, and share it with other mortgage brokers and business owners. This helps us reach and support more mortgage brokers just like you. And if you are thinking about making a move to become self employed, or if you're already self employed, doesn't really matter. I've got something else for you too. On Wednesday, the 3rd of July at 6 p.m., Jonathan Needham and I are in a free live webinar as part of the Broker Foundry. The webinar is called Foundations to Freedom, and it's all about the path to becoming a self employed mortgage broker. We'll be sharing the real steps to going self employed, what mistakes to avoid, what systems you actually need, and how to build a business that gives you freedom, not just more work. And so, if that's something that you're interested in, see the show notes and the email and address is in there. Send the email, and to register prices, like I say, it's totally free, and you will leave the webinar with clarity, structure, and the confidence you need to face what is next within the self-employed world. So back to this week's episode of the Mortgage Broker broadcast and AI. So, as I said, if you did see last week's episode, you know that I started talking about the power of AI in your business, and more specifically, how brokers like you can use tools like ChatGPT to save time and reduce the overwhelming feeling. If you didn't catch the first one, then go back and give it a listen. It's the start of a mini series that I'm doing around AI for mortgage brokers. And as I said, I promise you, it's not about turning you to some tech guru. It's about making your life easier. And today's episode is all about taking that next step. It's not about theory. There's no ball. It's just 10 practical chat GPT prompts that you can use this week to work more effectively, more efficiently, save you time, and stay consistent in your business. So before we get into the list of the 10, let's just quickly cover what actually is a prompt. A prompt is simply the instruction or question that you give to ChatGPT to get a useful response. Think of ChatGPT like your assistant. You wouldn't just say, write something. You would say, look, can you write me a short professional email to a client who's missed their document upload deadline, and be polite but firm. That's a prompt. And the clearer that you are, the better the output will be. So whatever you put in, the better you put in, the better the output will be. So 10 prompts you can use right now in your business. The first one is the appointment follow-up email. The prompt will be write a professional follow-up email to a first-time buyer after our initial mortgage appointment. Summarize that we discussed affordability, the deposit they have, and the need to gather supporting documents. End with a polite reminder to upload their documents to our portal. That's a prompt. Why does it help? Well, it keeps your follow up professional and consistent, even on the days when you are very busy. No more scrambling around to remember what was said in the meeting. The second prompt is a social media post on decision in principle. So the prompt will be create a LinkedIn post from a mortgage broker that educates first time buyers about what a decision in principle is, why it's important, and how to get one. Make it friendly, clear, and around 150 words. So, how does this help? Well, content like this positions you as the go to expert in the market and builds trust with potential clients. The next prompt could be explain a fixed rate mortgage in plain English. So the prompt will be explain what a fixed rate mortgage is in plain English for a first time buyer. Keep it friendly, jargon free, and suitable for a social media caption or a quick video script. So how does that help? Well, you're improving client education and communication, and clarity leads to better decisions. The next prompt could be about WhatsApp and a reminder for document upload. So your prompt would be write a short, friendly WhatsApp message reminding the client to upload the documents ahead of our meeting tomorrow. Include a link to the upload portal. So how does that help? Well, you stay on top of your workflow and reduce last minute stress without sounding too pushy. The next prompt could be about a monthly newsletter introduction. So prompt would be write a short introduction to a monthly newsletter for a mortgage broker. It should be warm, conversational, and encouraging clients to stay in touch or reach out with any questions. So how does that? Well, it keeps you in your client's mind, keeps you on top of like your database, which is key for long-term client retention and referrals. The next prompt could be an email to re-engage with old clients. So the prompt would be write a friendly email to past mortgage clients that you've not spoken to in over a year, just checking in, offering a review of them current mortgage, and inviting them to book a quick call. So how does that? Well, re-engaging with old clients is it's like low hanging fruit. This keeps your client relationships very warm and it opens up remortgage conversations. The next prompt could be about a blog post, an idea generator. So, for example, the prompt would be suggest 5 blog post topics a mortgage broker could write about to attract first time buyers and self employed clients. So, how does this help? Well, this removes the mental block of what should I write about and gives you fresh ideas to keep your content strategy moving forward. The next prompt could be about your website. So, for example, FAQ explainer for a website. So, your prompt would be write a simple FAQ section for a mortgage broker website explaining the difference between a fixed rate and a tracker mortgage. Keep it clear and concise. So, how does this help you? Well, it improves your website's user experience and helps answer common questions up front, saving time for you answering any messages or calls from them, just asking basic questions. The next prompt could be about testimonials or requesting a review by email. So the prompt would be draft an email asking a happy client to leave a review or testimonial on Google, make it warm, personal, and easy for them to respond. So how does that help? Well, build social proof and credibility. The easier you make it for clients to review you, the more likely that they will. And the last one, we could talk about local market update for social media. So your prompt would be create a Facebook post for a mortgage broker sharing a quick update on local interest rate trends and how it could affect first time buyers or remortgages. Keep it informal but informative. So, how does this help? Well, it just shows you're on top of your game and you're up to date with current events and gives your audience a reason to follow you for more insights. So, each of those prompts, those 10 prompts, could save you minutes hours every single day, which adds up to so much time each and every week. So, why does prompts matter overall? Well, these prompts aren't about automating you and taking you out of the picture. They're about streamlining the repetitive stuff so your personality, your expertise, and your service can shine through where it matters most. Think about how much time you spend writing emails, chasing clients, and coming up with content ideas. Now imagine having an assistant who can draft all that for you within seconds. That's what AI can be, a super efficient team member who never actually stops, never sleeps. The goal here is to stop spending energy on things that can be templated or drafted quickly because your energy is better spent advising clients, growing your brand, and just taking care of yourself. So, what's coming next on the podcast over the next few weeks? Going to get into things a little bit deeper. We're going to be talking about how to write better prompts, how to avoid common AI mistakes brokers make, and how to build simple AI workflows into your business. And as I said before, don't forget Wednesday, the 3rd of July, 6 p.m. Jonathan Needham and I are running the free live webinar, part of the Broker Foundry called Foundations to Freedom about going self employed. And like I said, we'll cover what transition really looks like, common traps to avoid, how to build a business that gives you more freedom, not just more pressure. See the show notes, the email address is in there. Send the email, register your place. So that's it. That's this week's episode. Thanks for listening to the Mortgage Broker broadcast. So today was about practical tools you can use right now, not next year or when you've got more time. Start small, test things out, and see how AI can start supporting you behind the scenes. And remember, you don't need to be an expert, you just need to be open about AI. It's all about small steps and big results. And if you benefited from this week's podcast, please like, please share it, please leave us a review. And if you are thinking about becoming a self-employed mortgage broker or looking to launch your own mortgage broker brand or ready to take your business to the next level, go to my website, craigskelton.co.uk, book a discovery call, just simply get in touch. And let's have a chat about how I can help you reach your goals. And remember, as always, please don't forget to run your own race.